Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Conversations with Coaches podcast. I am your host, Kevin, still caffeinated. And today I have the great pleasure of getting to interview Marion Wagner. Marion is a business mindset coach that specializes in helping online coaches and consultants create a six-figure game plan without starting with a large following on social media. A former school psychologist turned multiple six-figure business owner in two separate online industries, Marion teaches a combination of psychological and strategic approaches. We're going to talk about all that and more. Marion, it's been a delight to talk to you before I hit record. It's going to be a delight to talk to you on the podcast. I am so grateful that you're here. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Kevin. I'm excited to be here.
Let's dig into your superhero origin story, as I like to think of it. How did you get your start as a coach? How did you realize that maybe you already you had these certain attributes of a coach, or maybe you were a coach in practice and not yet in business? How did you get your start? And then how did you convert that into a coaching business for yourself?
Yeah. Okay. So I'll give you the cliff notes here.
Okay.
I started my career as a school psychologist. So I have always specialized in cognitive behavioral therapy and solution-focused approaches and NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Mm-hmm. And so I've always been really into the psychology aspect of how we show up as human beings. And about 13 years ago, I started my first online business as a hobby, which was just a blog. And I dove into it, learned all the early days of SEO and growing affiliate links, all that kind of income generation stuff. And I learned it the hard way. So it took me a few years, but then I was able to convert that into a six-figure business. And then I thought, well, I'm going to do this again. So I started a second online business in a separate niche. And I realized as I started, I naturally started growing a team, coaching people in the space because they saw what I was doing and they reached out and asked questions. And so I would help them. But I realized that in the online space, people fall into one of two camps where number one, they have all the strategy and all that, they go to all the webinars, all the master classes, they read all the books, they know everything, but they don't really believe in themselves or have any confidence behind their action. And then you have all the people who, gosh, they believe in themselves all the way and they have all the confidence. Yeah. But they have no strategy, no direction. So they just end up throwing spaghetti against a wall and hoping something sticks and doing things the hard way. So I started in 2018 doing business mindset coaching, which is molding the psychology, the mindset with strategy to grow an online business.
Awesome. I love that. Again, it's I love that you go the personal experience and people just start coming to you for they realize that you're good at the thing they want to get good at, and you're good at distilling that for other people. That's that real trick, is when you're able to translate what worked for you into what will work for someone else. And then you get a taste of what that magic's like when you realize that you can really help people. It's awesome.
It's cool because I feel like I've been in the shoes of the people I'm working with. I've walked the walk. I didn't read about it or, take a master class to learn it. I failed forward and I figured it out. And so I feel like I can really help them avoid the mistakes and save money that I did not avoid and I spent.
I paid for my education. Let me help you avoid paying full freight for yours.
Let's and save time, right? You might as well just work with someone who actually has a roadmap and save you the time.
Spend your energy on more positive pursuits. Let's bring it up to the present then. Let's talk about what your coaching practice looks like today. And I like to frame this question in a particular way because I feel like it gets at most of the important things about the nuts and bolts of a coaching practice. Who do you coach and how do you coach them? The who being more not necessarily the identity of the person, but maybe in what areas of their life, some people are more career coaches or executive suite, C-suite coaches or advancement coaches or interpersonal coaches, et cetera. And so they coach different kinds of people at different stages in their life or different roles in their life. And then the how being, it kind of encompasses the whole spectrum of the coaching experience. You mentioned a couple versions of it where you've got the masterminds and the small group coaching. Obviously, the one-on-one is often where the magic starts and where the magic stays. Do you do any keynote speeches or do you still maintain a blog, anything like that? So basically, who do you coach and how do you coach them these days?
Yeah, love it. So I work with primarily women who are working, they know deep down that they're meant to build a big business. They just don't maybe know how to go about it in an intelligent way. So they want to go 6 figures. They know they can make it happen, and then they can scale from there. And so they're usually service providers, coaches, consultants, people that have, they offer they have a course that they want to build online. So that's primarily who I work with. They're also action takers. My clients are not afraid of hard work. They know how to show up. They just don't know necessarily what they should be doing when they do show up. So they want to make sure that they're putting their energy into the right buckets.
Nice.
And then, you named them all. My main focus is one-on-one coaching right now, but I'm so excited about it. I'm launching a mastermind in 2023. That I'm really, after I have my baby next month, I can officially launch it, and open the doors for it. But that's really, I've done groups so many times in the past. I've done destination retreats, but this, I think, is going to be the first time I'm doing a 6-month mastermind. That's going to, I think, be incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. Is there, I might be jumping the gun. Is there anywhere where people can sign up to find out more about that? Or are we still in the early pre-stages?
So I am in the development stages right now, but I will be sharing it with my newsletter, my email list first. Yeah. Okay. So I think we'll link to that here, but
we definitely will. I don't want to jump the gun because I want to keep talking to you, but we'll definitely make sure they know where to find you and where to find out about this mastermind that's coming up in early 2023. But first things first. Let's talk a little bit about, obviously you have the mastermind. Is there anything else that is coming up or developing in your coaching practice that you're excited about? Obviously you have a baby right around the corner, so I imagine that's going to be taking up the lion's share of your attention and love. But what else, besides that mastermind that's coming up in 2023, are you excited about, or something that's currently happening that you love about your practice and that other people love about your practice?
Yeah, I think if you're a coach and you're listening to this, then there's so many possibilities and ways that you can grow your own practice and reach people in a way that doesn't have to be paid traffic. So I have a podcast like you do. So my podcast is called Get Out of Your Head and Grow Your Online Business. So that's a fun outlet, and it lets me reach an audience and share value for free. I also have a book that I'm finishing, this actually next month, that'll be coming out. That's called Big Income.
Everything.
It's called Big Income, Small Audience. And it's just kind of the heart of what I try to teach, which is you don't need to have a large following in order to start really growing a significant income in the online space.
That's exciting. I don't know how you find the time for all of this. This is amazing. Obviously you have a plan, you have a strategy for it, and you're interested in sharing it, how you can literally have it all and do it all. Well, I want to make sure that this time is already flying, and I can tell there's a half dozen different things I'd love to talk to you about. But one thing, we talked about this before I hit record, one of the things that I love about this podcast, I think other people do too, is that it is short and sweet. Definitely sweet, but also short. Now, sometimes I let things go a little bit too long, but I want to make sure before we go that you tell everybody where to find out more about you, obviously, but also where to connect with you. So is there anywhere in particular on social media that you like to meet people for the first time, where you like to engage and connect? And then also just where people could best learn more about you, maybe opt into an email newsletter and maybe find out when the mastermind's rolling out, when the book is published and all that jazz.
Yeah. So it's so funny because I've primarily spent my time on Instagram, and I'm there at Marion Wagner Coaching, but I've lately been more interested in LinkedIn.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. LinkedIn's always intimidated me because it's, working in school psychology and then going in the online space. I never really, I wasn't exposed to it, but I love LinkedIn now. Mm-hmm. I really do. So I'm just Marion Wagner Coaching over there too. And my website, same thing. It's all Marion Wagner Coaching. Keep it simple.
Well done. I imagine that's part of your strategy.
Oh, yeah.
Make it easy to find.
Everything is strategy.
Oh yeah, I love that you're realizing, because I feel like every day I am a little bit more impressed and pleased with LinkedIn as I mean, it's a social media platform, but I think of it more of like a relationship platform, because it really
Yeah.
is still one of the, it's so powerful for actually starting a relationship meaningfully, as opposed to
Mhm.
just on the surface. Like, I've often found that it can be difficult to pierce that like surface veil, that crust with relationship building on social media platforms. Usually it's like meet people on social media and get them elsewhere. Like, come over to my website, let's get into a call and talk or whatever. And I'm finding LinkedIn to be very, I don't know, very rich in the ability to develop a relationship off of that first impression before you even like get face to face with someone. It's really cool the way that's going. I find it really powerful.
Yeah. I mean, the conversations I have with people in the DMs on LinkedIn are like really meaty and deep. And yeah,
Mhm.
you can make a lot of really good friendships and connections with and strategic partnerships with people that are related
Yeah.
to what you do.
Yeah.
With Instagram, I think it's a great platform to kind of share more of the behind the scenes to build that know, like, and trust factor.
Yeah.
So I'm really active in stories and I share my, being a mom to a 9-year-old boy and 2 dogs running. I show the behind the scenes of how I run the day and ask questions and engage and get to know other people that way. But yeah.
Well, I can clearly keep you on all day, but you have all the things happening, so I should let you go. Is there any like message you want to leave the audience with before we go? I mean, obviously I love the way that your business and your life seem like they're mirrors of each other. You definitely practice what you preach, in a way that shines through even in this like 15-minute conversation. So is there any message besides you that you want to leave the audience with?
Yeah, I really truly believe, and I think this needs to be talked about more in the online business space, is that your business will grow to the extent that you grow. And if you feel stuck or unclear, you're lacking clarity or direction, then oftentimes it's usually, I always say, like, business is 80% between the ears. It's usually because there's some answer that you're not seeing, like a blind spot that you're not
Mhm.
seeing, or something's there, but you can fix it. And then once you fix that piece, you can explode. But it's sometimes, I know, frustrating to not know what it is. But I think when we invest in us, then it pays off in your business.
100%. And that's exactly where coaches thrive, is that perspective that you can't quite get for yourself. You just need someone to see it for you and to show it to you. And I feel like I really do feel like
Here,
that's what coaches do so well, and why it's so necessary, I feel like.
I have a coach. Yeah, I have a coach for a reason because I
Yep.
can't see my own blind spots.
Well, Marion, thank you so much for being here, for sharing, for being open, and for just generally being awesome. I'm extremely grateful to have gotten to talk to you today for the podcast and just in
Thanks,
general.
Kevin. Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate it.
And to the audience, I mean, obviously this almost goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Reach out to Marion, meet Marion, find her on LinkedIn, find her on Instagram, find her on her website, get on that newsletter. You want to know about that mastermind, it's going to be great. You want to know about that book, it's going to be great. I feel confident. I've only known you for like maybe 25 minutes, but I feel pretty confident in saying all those things. So find her, check her out, get to know her. She's fantastic. And we will talk to you again very soon.